Welcome to this edition of Talk with TAS. I am your host, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. TAS. Today I have with me Dr. Ed Bell. Dr. Bell is an educator, he's a community activist, he's a parent trainer. He's an individual who tells it like it is. And if you know him, you know I'm not lying. He tells it exactly like it is with his dry sense of humor, but he means well. He has a heart for parents and for students. And he has written numerous books, and I think I have them all. And then he started writing children's book. And I didn't ask him, why are you writing children's book? Because when I would open the children's books, they were short, but they had so much impact that I instinctively understood why he was doing them. Now, his latest children's book is I Love You. Now, I love you is just three words. I love you. But those three words can change a person's world. It can change a person's day, their outlook. I love you. And so I said to Dr. Bell, I said, Dr. Bell, I need you to come on Talk with TAS and share with my audience why you were moved to write a book that's called I Love You. And so time and destiny finally met. And so today I have him with me. So Dr. Bell, I want to say thank you so much for being willing to come and talk about your new book, I Love You.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, for the invitation. As you know, I love to talk, and so I am certainly right at home. So thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you, Dr. Bell. And so, I know that you've worked with hundreds, with thousands of people, and you know what the impact of I Love You is. And, we don't hear I love you in our homes a lot of times, and we don't hear it in the school. And some folks will say, well, Dr. TAS, we're not supposed to hear it in the school. But I love you also is action. And sometimes kids come to school and they don't feel that connection that the school individuals have their best interest at heart. So, having heard this and worked with parents and worked with schools, why do you think that we rarely hear the words, I love you, whether it's at school and through our actions or at home?
From my experience, I did not grow up hearing the words, I love you. But without a doubt, both my parents, mother and father, they love me through actions or deeds. But to hear the words come out their mouths, it was foreign in my environment. And so when I was writing the book, I was thinking about that experience. And I was thinking about the words not being said to me, but today we can do a better job in educating parents and those who love and care for children. Sometimes hearing the words, I love you, I love you, impactful. And so the book taught me a lot. Interesting. So, Dr. Smith, when I say the words to my son, he giggles. And he said to me, this is hard for you. I said, absolutely it is. I said, because I did not grow up hearing those words. And we both chuckle because he know the words because his mother says the words to him. And so now I have made it a habit in saying the words, not only to him, but to other people as well. I love you. I care about you. I want to see where you're going. I respect you. You have meaning for me in my life and vice versa. I'm concerned about you as being my brother or being my sister or being my friend. So, because I think for me, Dr. Smith, I had this mindset that that to say the words "I love you" it was romantic.
Mm-hmm.
it was about being romantically involved with someone. And I had to rethink what I thought, not only as a young person, but as I grew up, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love you can take on other meanings, and our children need to hear that. And not only our children, but adults too. We need to hear it more.
We do, Dr. Bell, and my audience knows I'm the crying doctor. I never know when I'm gonna cry. But when you were saying "I love you" and you were talking about what you're saying to this person, it touched me. And I never know what's going to touch me because I'm just a real person. But you're right. As adults, we need to hear that too. But you said something that I hadn't thought about. You thought about "I love you" from a romantic perspective. And when you said that, it made me wonder if I didn't grow up hearing my parents say "I love you." And they don't say it a lot now. My mother will say it. My father really doesn't say it, I don't think. But I remember the first time I heard it, it was like, what is this? And I was maybe going off to college. And it was like, it was so foreign for me. I knew they loved me, but to hear it. And even now, when I hear it, I'm so transparent. It just doesn't sound real to me because it falls on ears that never heard it. I knew my parents loved me. I know my parents love me now without a shadow of a doubt. But you said when you thought of "I love you," and I'm thinking myself going back in time as I say this, you thought of it as romantic. And I have to think about that. Yes, growing up, if I was hearing it in a movie or wherever, it was always romantic. It was around romantic love. And so I never heard it outside of that I can recall, guys. But then that makes me ask this question, Dr. Bell. If we look at our parents and the fact that perhaps it is generational, could that be the reason why, in addition to life happening, they were trying to take care of their kids, that they didn't say it to their children? They may have said it to each other, the mother and the father, because maybe they also thought of it as romantic. And we show our love for our kids by providing a home, a roof over their heads, people would say, food, making sure they had clothes. And I'm wondering if maybe that was the reason, and it just got passed on from generation to generation because of that perspective.
It could be, and I think there's a generational concern. I remember speaking with a friend of mine, and she's in her 70s. Because and when I was writing the book, I like to get real life experiences from people. And she said, no, I didn't grow up hearing the words "I love you." My parents had children to feed, and they were dealing with generational and societal issues at that time. And so they didn't have time to go around saying "I love you." They had to put food on the table. She said, so I never heard the word at all. And she and others I spoke with never doubted the love that their parents had for them. And so sometimes in saying it now, it is having a deep personal expression or connection with someone. I was out eating with a good friend of mine. I'm going to call his name out now, Dr. Hargett, just casual conversation. And we was talking about the wording, "I love you," and how difficult it is for some people. So for example, he and I talked about, you may say "I love you" to someone else, and that person would say, "Well, I appreciate you too."
Wow.
And so sometimes it's difficult for some of us to get the words out because of the connotation with those words. And it's foreign to many of us to say those words. Now, granted, some people grew up hearing the phrase "I love you." But for me and many people that I know, my environment, I didn't grow up with that. And I oftentimes I say to people, my parents, just like other parents as well, they gave me what they had.
Yep.
And they had nothing else to give in terms of saying the words, I love you. So my mother grew up with lots of children, over 15 in her family, I'm sure more than that. And so, do you have time? And some family would say, yes, we have time to say that. And that's great for your experience. And so I grew up with that. And so, but it's difficult. Well, let me paraphrase. It used to be difficult for me. Now it's not difficult for me, because saying those words has meaning. It is, as I said before, I see you. I want to know where you're going, where you're headed. I appreciate your being who you are. And so I love you. But yeah, it was a struggle growing up. And as I got older, I said, I didn't get there. And I chuckled because if my parents were living now, I would ask them that question. And my mother would probably say, boy, I love you. I didn't have to tell you that. Stop that talking right crazy. That's where I get it from. And so she would chuckle about it. Now, my dad would probably say, well, boy, I love y'all. Yeah. And so, but I just wish I had the opportunity or would have thought about it, because I would have asked that question.
Well, Dr. Bell, now, as you said, you didn't grow up hearing that. There are a lot of people who did not grow up hearing those words, but they want to be able to say it. What advice would you give them? Because now you're able to say it with your son. What advice would you give them to get them from being stuck in a place of not being able to say, I love you?
Yeah, I think it's important because in the book talk about mother and son expressing their love and admiration for each other. In the book, a passage in the book, the mama talks about, son, I love you for who you are. I love you because you are kind to others. And so rather than just saying, I love you, I think it's important as carers of children is to say to our children the reasons for the love. So let me just quickly read a patch. I'm not going to read all the book, Dr. Smith, because I want people to buy the book.
Absolutely.
So example, the mom and the son is talking. Mommy, I love you. Do you love me? Son, I love you so much. Mommy, what do you love about me? And mother replies, I love that you take care of yourself. I love how kind you are to others. And the book goes on, sharing those personal concerns and examples. Why do I love you? Because sometimes when I'm talking with my son and he comes out with these deep thoughts, things I haven't thought of, and I say to him, boy, you smart. And I say, you good. And so sometimes our kids need to hear those examples of the demonstration of love, because you can easily say, I love you. Why do you love me, mommy? I love that you are a ray of sunshine. I love that you are kind to others. I love the way you think. I love the way you treat others. And then the son talks about saying to mommy, mommy, I am able to love other people because you showed me love. And so I think if we can do more of that, it will help children in schools and most in particular in the home. It could be difficult for some people to do because if it's not part of your native tongue,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to come out, kind of weak, it may sound strange, as you said earlier, to hear it. What are you telling me I love you for? I don't even know you. I don't know you like that. So we have to rethink what we thought we knew.
Well, Dr. Bell, that's interesting because this is and I know that you have a passion for Black males, and you have a son, so you have a Black male. And I know that, you were very intentional about ensuring that he received what he needed throughout his education career. But you've also worked closely with students that we would label at risk. What's usually going on behind those labels, and how can adults truly help those young people rise above their circumstances?
I think it's important. Quickly, let me give you a backstory on me, just a refresher for you and new for others. I grew up in Q2 323 Craven Terrace, one of the housing projects in the city of New Bern. I was on free and reduced lunch. Both my parents were not high school graduates, but they had college minds. And here I sit today. I think what we can hope for is be a demonstration of where we want our children to go. And we have to avail our children to productive and positive role models early on in life. We have to affirm our children, have to believe in. My mama tells me a story. I was born in 1962, but she said when I used to watch the news during the civil rights era, see all those things were going on. Mm-hmm. She said, I said, when I grow up, they're not going to treat me like that. And so I don't remember that, saying that. Mm-hmm. But here's what I do know. The life that I have lived, or the life that I am living, dovetails to what she told me. And so we have to work with children early on and not be afraid to tell them the truth. I wrote this piece once called, What Shall I Tell My Black Boy Who Lives in a Skin of Blackness? What shall I say? I shall always tell him the truth. And so that's one thing that I valued as a carer of children, a parent in particular, and as a child growing up, I got the truth. Don't come to me sugarcoating the world. As you said before, talking about my personality, that's how I grew up.
You don't do it.
I grew up not saying it is right, not saying it is wrong. But when I enter a space, I'm going to tell it like I see it, because life is too precious and is too short for many. And so I think it's important that we put in our children greatness from their early beginning and affirming them. I love you. And here are the reasons why I love you. I just love you. Because it really, Dr. Smith, I get a kick out of saying it to my son. I said, boy, you smart. I said, where did you get that word from, that reasoning from? Where did that come from? I said, boy, you smart. And so he just chuckled, but I think I chuckle more. Mm-hmm. I really do, because I believe in moving children beyond a place that someone is currently in. Because I hear kids say all the time, Dr. Bell, I'm going to be like you. No, don't be like me, because I got this. Mm-hmm. If you be like me, then you haven't moved. Mm-mm. So you need to dream and do things that I never, ever thought about or could do because I love you enough to believe in your possibility. I think that's so. Love can do a lot of things.
It can, Dr. Bell, and it sort of leads into my next question. What are some of the biggest misconceptions families or schools have about change, especially when someone seems resistant or too far gone?
Change is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Change is hard. Change may even seem to be impossible for some people. Change is necessary for a lot of people. And so change is frightening. It's scary. It scares people because I'm not used to seeing where you want me to go. So it scares me. And those who are around me sometimes, they don't help me because they too are scared. So I learned this a while back. Sometimes success is backwards. And then it goes forward. And sometimes adults don't believe in change or don't help kids to see the possibility of change because the route to their change is foreign, is different from them, it's unfamiliar territory. And so sometimes we are resistant for change, be it students, to teacher, parent, to child. The paths are different, how you get to change. Because you may not understand, take my situation, for example, how I entered college and going to college and the change that was necessary for me to get into college was foreign to people. They didn't understand the path that I was going to take to change my life for the better. It was foreign. School counselors didn't understand it. My mama, daddy didn't understand it, but I knew that I was going to college and I knew I was going to make changes in my life, but it had to be my own journey. And my life, I had no question about the change. And so sometimes it frightens people when a child wants to change, or not only that, when kids or adults for that matter don't want to change. Because if you are comfortable in a situation that you are in and you are used to the smell, I won't say the word I wanted to say, but if you're used to that smell in that certain situation, then you become numb to it.
True.
And so change is difficult. You want me to change my life. And I have been in this situation, and that smell has been part of me all my life. You want me to change? So it's difficult. But change is possible with all of us.
So it's never too late then, Dr. Bell, for me to rewrite my behavior, because you've counseled students and parents. So it's never too late for someone to realize that they can change their behavior, they can change their beliefs because it's their journey.
It's never too late. The only time when it is too late when you are absent from the body. But until then, it's never too late to change your course or your course of life unless you are absent from the body. And so change is possible. Change is healthy, but it's difficult at times, as I said before. Some people are just rooted in their pain. And that pain goes deep, and those roots, they go deep. And as I said before, and that smell is something that you are familiar with. And so people become stuck, and the root of their lives, it keeps growing and growing down and down and down and down. And to just uproot that change. It's difficult, but it's not possible.
Well, Doc, so, and I get that. And I think that's a very good point. And I like the way you're explaining it, the fact that they're rooted. But for me, if I've rooted myself in this, I rooted myself in this space, then I can't get upset when I see other people making progress, when I see other people's children making progress. Why then am I upset when I don't want to cut or dig up my root or dig around my root so I can get that root up and then I can change course? Why do you think people they're jealous? They feel some kind of way when we all have an opportunity.
Here's my thought. Perhaps no one told them, I love you.
Oh.
Because I love you for who you are. I love you for what you can be.
Yes.
Not what someone else can be. So I love you because you are unique in your own ways. And so I think it's important for people to understand, particularly parent to child and child to parent, love can move things because you're loving the individual where that person is at that particular moment. Mm-hmm. I can't be jealous of you because I know someone loved me and someone cares enough about me and they see me as an individual. Mm-hmm. I can love the success of someone else. Mm-hmm. If you're doing exceptionally well, life is good for you financially, materially, health-wise, et cetera, et cetera. I can love you enough to appreciate the things that you have that may be foreign to me because I love you. Yeah. I love you. Mm-hmm. And so the extra things that you have, that I think you have, sometimes can overshadow the fact that, do I love this person? Or do I love the fact because of the things that this person has? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you see, competition sometimes can root out and destroy the capacity to love others. Because I love when, Dr. Smith, when friends and or those I know do exceptional well. I love that. Mm-hmm. Because I value you. Mm-hmm. I have a deep love and respect for you. And so when I see your glitz and your glamour, sister, brother, I love you. And so I'm not going to be jealous because of the things that you have. I love you. And so sometimes people can't make that separation. Maybe the person's doing the hating, maybe they have been unloved themselves in the past. I don't know, just thinking about how they're all work, because jealousy is real, envy is real. But I'm happy for people. It does me good when I see people just soaring, just taking off. It puts a smile because I love them enough. Because I want them to be able to, especially friends, to do what I couldn't do, or to go places that I did not go to, or to think differently from me, or to experience life. I love you enough. I have that deep, committed expression for you as a friend to go forth. And so that's my little 2 cents on that, if you will.
But Dr. Bell, that was wonderful because it gives you a lot to think about. As you said, do I love the person or do I love what the person has? And when you truly love the person.
Mm-hmm.
When you're happy, you love when they achieve. You're because you love the person.
Right,
That's
right,
a totally different thing.
right, right,
And,
right, right, right.
that's really deep, Dr. Bell. That's really
Yeah,
deep.
another thing to think too, I love you enough that I don't expect anything from you.
I mean, whew,
I love you enough. I don't expect anything from you. There's no condition
uh-huh.
to our love. I love you enough. And so that's what I said earlier in understanding the difference between romantic love
Yeah.
versus not. Because
Mm-hmm.
the friendship love, the bond, the familiar love, I love you enough. I don't expect anything from you. Nothing. Because I love you. And so it has been a journey for me when I talk with people, when I say, I love you. And it is strange, and they know it's strange for me. So they look at me and chuckle. But it's a healthy practice.
Yes.
And it really is. And not only the romantic side, Dr. Smith, is understanding from a masculine side too. That's a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Because say one man to another, I love you, like what?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's environmental.
Yes.
It is one's upbringing
Mm-hmm.
that had, that they attach saying from man to man, I love you, Will. What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the weakness of the person
Mm-hmm.
that has taken I love you in the wrong way. Weakness with no fault of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are receiving information based on their growing up experiences themselves. So they are doing the best that they can. Just imagine, just visualize going out, a bunch of men, hey, I love you, like, what?
Yeah.
Because it's foreign to some people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not our fault.
No.
That's how we grew up.
It is.
But what we do, in the words of the late great Dr. Maya Angelou, when you know better,
You do that.
You just do better. So I'm being challenging people. I'm still a work in progress. I think I've done exceptionally well, actually, from my starting point.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is say it to children, in particular, young people, in particular, and say to them, "I love you." And let me tell you about my love. I'm gonna read one more passage from the book. I'm not gonna read the whole book, but and also the son and the mom is not having another conversation. The mother is saying to the son, "I love your laughter.
Mm-hmm.
It brightens my day. I love that you give hope to me every day." And then the mom goes on to tell the son why he is so special to her. And then the young man say, "Mommy, do you love my hair?" And that's a whole nother story.
It is.
In itself. And so it's for me, it was a passionate journey for me. So I was thinking about what can we do to uplift children, to uplift parents. That was the push behind my writing this book and thinking about my growing up experience. Another story too. Let me share a story. I'm a storyteller, as you said. I remember I was in college. It's probably 1983, maybe 83, and I was leaving New Bern, going back to Durham to Central, and my car malfunctioned, broke down, and I had to go to the filling station gas station, and use the telephone because we had no cell phone.
Phones.
So I go in, I call home crying. I was crying. My car broke down. My car broke down. And my mama said, boy, why are you crying for? And I'm thinking, well, I'm hurt. She said, someone is going to come pick you up. Stop that crying. Just stop it. Just stop it. Someone's going to come pick you up. Well, someone did come pick me up. And I was able, 2 days later, drive the car back to Durham. But I thought about that moment, that growing up experience. Of course, I never say this to my mama, you know.
Of course not.
Of course not. Because I really love her. She said, I thought about it later. I had a right to my feelings. I had a right to my emotions. They belong to me. And in that very moment, I was feeling bad. I was feeling hurt. My car, stopped on me. But I had a right to my feelings and to my emotions. Sometimes with parenting, we do what we know to do. So I'm giving you what I have to give. And sometimes as parents, we have to rethink what we thought we knew to be gospel. Because my mother gave to me what she had. She loved me without questioning because I said the car was fixed. Matter of fact, she had the car towed. And I went back to New Bern, got it back. So that was a demonstration of love for me. But I tell that story to say, growing up for many people, it looks different. And many parents, they did the best they could do. And so my mama was a no-nonsense woman. Let's get it done. Why are you crying for? We're just going to get the car fixed. She did what she knew. And her growing up experience is about survival.
Yes.
And so when I think about that story, I think about me, but more importantly, I think about her and how she processed things and how sometimes throughout our lives and our environment, it passes on to us as the offsprings. Because sometimes I have to check myself, like, wait a minute now, okay. Because I'm like that now, okay, let's get it done. Let's get it done. But sometimes you have to sit back and you have to reflect and allow your feelings and your emotions to be heard and to be known to others, but most importantly, to yourself. And so we can change a lot about ourselves when we are courageous enough to reflect on our growing up experiences and to do better. Because many of us just need, and many of our children just need a new beginning.
Now, Dr. Bell, did you get that understanding that many of our children just need a new beginning from your book, Letters and Lessons of My Teachers?
Yes.
Excuse me, that included letters that adults wrote to their teachers that they had coming through school. So talk a little bit about that and how that helped to shape that concept of being seen, heard, and loved for who you are, not unconditionally.
Right. Yes. I wrote this book, Letters and Lessons from My Teachers, and the book is an interesting book because what it talks about is actually true letters from students at that now 80 to 70 years of age, and they talk about their growing up experiences to their teachers and how teachers made them feel. Either it could have been because they didn't wear the right clothes, They smelled in class. They didn't know the subject matter, or the teacher not taking the time to work with them so they can understand the content in class. Teachers whispering and talking about them to other teachers, being ridiculed in classroom because they got an answer incorrectly. So this book is the letters, and at the end of each letter, the student shares with the teacher, this is not for you to do again. You hurt me, but don't do this to another student. And here are some suggestions. So in those situations, there wasn't a demonstration of loving children. Now, you don't necessarily have to say that in school, but certainly, and what I just spoke about, there was no demonstration of loving children. And children become adults, and the memories, they stay. And then these children become adults, and they become parents. And if we're not careful, they repeat what was taught to them. Conversely, some would do just the opposite and be more positive in their lives based on the prior experiences that they have. So love, verbally, a demonstration, is important.
And it builds resilience. Don't you think also, Dr. Bell, it builds resilience in our kids when we're able to demonstrate it, but actually also say, I love you?
Yes, because emotional resilience is important. And so those things are important for children today, even more so. And for those adults who are wounded from the past.
True.
The hurt and the wound are still there. They may be covered up in bandages. But just imagine growing up in an environment and you yourself, there was no validation of your presence, of your humanity, of your being. No one validated you. And now you're walking around in the world as an adult and you're trying to figure out, well, who loves me? And another exercise too, I think would be healthy for people. Think about who loved you. Chart it, list it. Who actually loves me? Who loved me? And who do I love? I did this. I'm always doing little social experiments. Always, think about 3 friends, and I said to them, I say, listen, I'm in a bad financial situation, and I need to borrow some money. And 2 of them just laughed. Ed, stop playing. I said, no, I'm serious. I need to borrow some money from you. And they went, oh, you just playing with me. I said, no, I need it. And are you really serious? I said, yes, I am. And I said, okay, I'll loan you some money. Okay, good. So then I laughed. We chuckled about it. Then I called another friend. She said, I don't have it. She said, but I'm going to call someone else and see, can I borrow the money from them? That was love. There was no excuses to be made. I don't have it, she said. But I'm going to call someone to borrow it from them. That's a demonstration. And so at that time, I wasn't saying I love you to people then. It was in that moment, for this person, a good friend of mine, it was a demonstration of love. She said, I don't have it, but I'm going to call someone so I can borrow the money for them. That touched me. And so sometimes we operate from different degrees of how we look at this thing called love, especially this friendship stuff, this platonic stuff, and how it shows up in spaces. Because just think about being with friends and you not sensing a reciprocal love, then you're wasting my time. And perhaps you have wasted my time for 20 years.
Come on, black man.
Maybe for 20 years.
My time.
We wasted time because I've always loved you.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't love me.
Right. And so, yes, we need to part and depart. And so, and that's a good thing. The only thing I would say, 20 years. Why? And so that happens in friendships or relationships that's not necessarily romantic. And you say, well, that person really did never care for me. There was no love there. They didn't have my best interest. They didn't care where I was headed in life. Now, granted, some of my friends probably get on their nerves because I'm always probing and asking lots of questions and have you tried this? Why not this? You know, That probably say, oh Lord, here he comes. He don't know what to say. And they probably get sick of me, which is okay, because I always come from a place of love because I care about you, and I want you to have your pie in the sky right here on these earthly grounds. You don't have to wait. Get it here on these earthly grounds. And so that's love. Because I want you, I want people to get it. You're because I try to be very aspirational. That's for me, that's love.
Well, Dr. Bell.
Yes.
I can tell you that I love you. It's a love letter. It is full of affirmations from the mother to her son. It's aspirational. There are themes in here, like the hair. There's so many things. It's a very layered book. And, you and I could continue to talk for another 2 hours about this topic, but I'll have to bring you back another time. But what I want you to do now is tell the audience where they can get your book and how they can stay in contact with you.
Okay, you can get the book through Amazon. You can just Google my name, Dr. Edward E. Bell. Amazon is one way. I do have a website, and it's my name. It's drabell1906.org. That's drabell1906.org. I hope I got that right. Or I have an email similar. It's drabell, BELL, 1906. That was a good year. At gmail.com. The email address again is drabell, BELL, 1906 at gmail.com. And on my website, you will find a whole lot of information about me and the things that I do in trying to make a difference in the lives of those people who I come in contact with. So that's that.
Well, Dr. Bell, thank you for all that you do and for all the lives that you're touching and that you will continue to touch. And thank you for sharing with us as a Black male that it's okay to say, I love you. I love you. There are no conditions there. I love you. I want the best for you. I love you. And I keep saying it because we don't hear it enough. And we don't hear it and we don't say it. For some of us, we don't say it. So we have to become comfortable saying it ourselves and understanding what it means so that we can then share it with our children, with our siblings, with our parents who may not have said, I love you to you, but you still have an opportunity to do that for them if they're living. And I'm going to tell you guys another thing, even if they're not living, you can still say, I love you to someone that you love. Because I believe that they hear us. Not trying to be metaphysical, but I believe that they hear us. And sometimes it's not about them at that point. It's about me. So you say it. Don't feel that you can't say it if the person is not here with us on this plane. You can say it. And I think it leads into taking care of you. Because y'all know my sign off. Before you go trying to take care of someone else, you got to take care of you. By me being able to say, I love you, Teresa, I love you, Dr. Bell, I love you, Grandma Laney, I love you, Uncle Johnny, that helps me to take care of me. So, Dr. Bell, thank you so much for being with us today. And until next time, guys, before you go trying to take care of someone else, make sure you take care of yourself first. Bye now.
Bye-bye. I love you.
Love you too.